on dyeing this week. I spent the better part of yesterday fighting with my computer and iMovie to try to get the vlog published. Just did not want to export and it was driving me crazy. So I ended up having to download a whole new video editor and redo the vlog completely, and it just ate up my day. So I'm behind on dyeing the February colorways that need to go out this week. So that's my main job today. And I also have a couple buckets full of yarn that need to be twisted, photographed, and labeled in time for Saturday's shop update. So while I wait for different colors or different yarns to set in the dye pots, I will be doing that. So it's a busy, busy Thursday here in the studio. Hello, Mr. Hummingbird. Oh, you're very pretty. These aphids are taking over my poor milkweed plant. I have tried everything I could think of to kill these stupid bugs. And I really don't like having to use a pesticide on the milkweed, because then if I have any baby caterpillars on here, I'm gonna kill them too. But I have been battling these aphids for ages. I was really hoping the big thunderstorms that rolled through were gonna kill these bugs, but they are back with a vengeance. Stupid aphids. Good cat! Today's agenda, Rufus will be playing ball. He prefers to play on the sofa, which is probably why my sofa is always filthy. And I'm doing some last minute prep to get ready for tomorrow's shop update. So I've got my little photo studio that I'm setting up down here. I've got to take pictures of all the new yarns that are heading to the shop tomorrow. And then once all the photos are done, I can get everything labeled and we'll be ready for our shop update. Yay! Headed out the door today. I'm heading to the Knitting Tree, which is a local yarn shop here in LA. I've got a little neat meet and greet this afternoon to kick off my trunk show that they are hosting. So I'm pretty excited. I haven't been to the shop once. It's a very nice little shop. I'm excited to hang out and hopefully meet some new people this afternoon. should be better at dividing up skeins when I'm trying to work 2 at a time socks, but I almost always end up with a little baby cake and then a big monster cake. Happy Monday from me and Rufus's butt. I need to finish labeling everything from the weekend's update because I didn't finish that yesterday. I've got still a bucket left that needs to be done so I can finish packing up orders and get everything dropped off at the post office. Though I'm really close to running out of shipping labels. I just ordered a giant batch from Amazon that'll come tomorrow, but hopefully I have enough to get all of this weekend's orders finished. And then I've got a big box of yarn that just arrived on my doorstep this morning to start a wholesale order for, I can't remember right now, but it's a reorder for one of my current stockists. And so that needs to get finished up this week as well so that they can get their yarn before their yarn crawl starts. So busy, busy. Last night I got a squishy package in the mail. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Brandy, you told us you were on a yarn diet, and yet since the day you proclaimed that, you have purchased more yarn. Yeah. That is very true. Yarn diet is not going so well, but stash enhancement is going quite well. And I just couldn't help myself. I bought 2 skeins from a dyer that is new to me, and that is Mustache Yarn. And I believe they specialize in self-striping. At least that's what pulled me to the shop. So I got 2 skeins of their self-striping sock yarn, which is a 75-25 merino nylon blend. And so the first one I got, I believe the colorway is Theory. Yes. So the first one I got, the colorway is Theory, and it is a pastel rainbowy self-striping when it is worked up, and it's very beautiful, and it's so, like, look at how plump and squishy this skein is. Excuse me. Apparently I'm allergic to buying new yarn. The second colorway I got is called Lavender Apple Blossoms, and this one is a purple, lavender purple stripes with rainbow striping in between. So it's kind of like the purple is like a background with little rainbow stripes. So very cute and really unique. You don't see a lot of kind of colorways like this, and I love purple, so I snatched that one up too. The one that pulled me into the shop, which I saw on Instagram, was this one, and this one just somehow found its way into my cart. I don't know how that happened. But I noticed something that's really cool with these hanks on the label, which is that the way they've twisted them together is it comes as two hanks twisted together to make one big skein, so that you can have your perfect stripes line up once you get going. So I noticed I haven't undone them yet because I want to keep them beautiful until I'm ready to wind up, but they've got two little, here's the two different hanks wound up into one big hank. So it is all ready to go. I don't have to sit there and try to guess when I'm winding up my ball and make sure that I'm starting both of my socks at the same stripe in the sequence. They've done all the work for you by winding them into two little hanks already, so it's super easy peasy, ready to go. That's super awesome. Very much appreciate it, and I think it's really great touch that they've added to their company. So really excited to add these skeins of mustache yarn into my stash. This week in the knitting roundup, I actually have two finished objects to share. First up, you can see, is my Granito sweater. This I literally just finished knitting last night. So I'll give you a little peek at the whole thing. Oh yeah. So I had to finish up one pocket and the neckband ribbing, and I just barely finished in time. I feel like I did not have a ton of knitting time this past week. I was just busy, I was tired, and not a lot of knitting seems like it happened, but I finished this. And it's not 100% finished. It hasn't been blocked. I haven't woven in any of the ends. So there's still those last minute finishing touches that need to get done before she's wearable, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. I was wearing it around the house for like an hour last night before bed because I really am loving the fit on this. It's got like a perfect amount of positive ease on it. The sleeves fit very nicely. I wasn't sure how much of a fan of drop sleeves I was going to be before I started working on these Ho-He patterns, because a lot of her latest designs utilize drop sleeves, and I was nervous about having like a bunch of fabric in your armpit, but it has not been an issue for me on either my Elton cardigan or this Granito. Out of the two, I think I prefer the fit on the Granito. It's not quite as big and boxy as the Elton, which kind of is a little bit more of my own personal preference to have it a little bit more fitted. So yeah, I really love this. I would also really enjoyed knitting this again and have some ideas in my brain for doing a short sleeve version and just putting a little bit of ribbing around the drop sleeve edge and knitting it in maybe like a linen or a cotton blend for a lighter weight sweater, because that way I would have one to wear all year round. Love the pockets. I've sewn them in, and it didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take to sew on the pocket backs. Love these big pockets. I just love a pocket in a sweater, so really loving this. I mean, I really do want to knit a summery version, but having said that, I basically never knit the same pattern twice. We'll see if Granito breaks that streak, but yeah, really enjoying this one, and excited to get those last bits done, even if it's just weaving in ends. and get her blocked. So I will post totally finished object pictures on my Ravelry project page when I get to that, hopefully next weekend, I expect. The other finished object I have to share this week are some socks. Yes, I know, I finished socks last week. This week I finished my Knox Yarn Company socks, which I was knitting on their Soul sock base, which is a merino nylon gold stellina blend. So there is a little bit of sparkle in there, but it's always hard to get the camera to kind of pick up on the sparkly bits. This colorway is a labyrinth inspired colorway, so I just had to buy it. It's called It's Not Fair, and I paired it with some of my scraps of my own yarn for the heels and toe contrast color, which I used Midnight Affair in it, paired very nicely with the beautiful Knox Yarn Company yarn. So really happy with how that turned out. I used my basic vanilla sock pattern, which you can find on Ravelry as the long dog socks. And again, these have not been blocked yet, and the ends have not been woven in, so not totally finished on these either, but close enough to count, I say. So another pair of socks, and these officially, I know for sure, can be my first entry into Wool & Vine Yarns Box O Socks knit along. So one pair down, 11 to go, at least. I think that's the whole spirit behind the knit along, is a year of socks. So these will definitely go into my entry for that knit along. And that's about where all my knitting time went to finishing up those two items, but I did get a chance to start on something new. Rufus is down here and he keeps munching on his toes and it's driving me crazy. And I've washed his feet every day for the past week, but there's some, I don't know, nasty thing that grows here in LA that he is continually munching on his toes, and it's driving me crazy. Okay. I did cast on a new pair of socks since I finished my Knox Yarn Company socks, and I actually haven't seen these in the daylight because I've only been working on them before bed, and they're even more beautiful than I see in my dim table, my lamp from my bedside table. These are my new pair of socks. Just started, so I just finished the ribbing last night, and I gotta get the ball band out of here. Did I put it in here? I didn't. It's floating around in the mess of my studio somewhere, but I know that this is Ushitida, and it is from their sock club that I got in January or late December. And I think late December because I vlogged it. And it's like Jingle Bells, I think is the colorway. But it's not particularly a traditional Christmassy color, which is why I'm knitting with it now, and I absolutely love it. Let me pull out one of the skeins. It's just like a gorgeous gold, just gorgeous golden brown with like neon pinks and orange and purple in there. I love this colorway. And it is knitting up just as beautifully as the skein led me to believe. So really enjoying this, especially now that I'm seeing it in the daylight. I'm just gonna go with a basic vanilla, my basic vanilla sock pattern, and I am thinking of tossing in some contrasting heels and toes. I think I'm gonna use my Enchanted colorway, which I should have grabbed off of the yarn wall to show you, but maybe by next week I'll have reached the heels and that'll be worked in so I can show it off. Really gorgeous Ushitita. Not sure if I said what the blend is, but it's a 75-25 merino nylon blend. And I have been drooling over their yarn for so long. I mean, they dye some of the most beautiful yarn, in my opinion. And so when I managed to catch one of her sock club, or I should say their sock club openings last fall, I grabbed it. I think I have another batch of skeins coming from the club. I don't really pay attention to things. I just throw money at yarn and just wait for it to arrive at my doorstep. So that's all. I just started another one, and since we just passed the Women in Science Day, I've got my Lady STEM project bag that I absolutely love. I grabbed this from Apple Yarn's booth at Stitches SoCal, and I mean, Lady Scientist project bag, yeah, that's gonna need to come home with me. So that's all I've been working on. Next week, my knitting goals are I would really like to finish the yoke on my La Dame de Fer cardigan now that Granito is finished. And make some progress on my socks. I have, what, 3 pairs on the needles right now? So some of those socks will see some knitting. I'm not going to commit myself to which pair at this moment. I'll just follow my heart's desires. So that's what I have on the needles right now. We'll see how far we get next week.